like poetry. In fact, it's a lot like poetry, except you also have a melody that goes along with it. And usually there's some instruments that you play. But you can also sing a song. You can write a song without even having an instrument. So even if you don't yet play an instrument, you can think up a tune in your head and you can think up the words that go along with it. Or you can write a poem that later on somebody else puts the music to. So there's a lot of different ways to do songwriting. Usually when I write a song, I tend to think of the words and the melody together, and then it kind of comes out sometimes when I'm driving my car or doing dishes or doing other jobs. Sometimes you're doing other things with your hands and the song comes to you. And in fact, sometimes I just like scribble it on a piece of paper and then later on I figure out the guitar chords, or I'll record it into my phone. And this is a song I wrote for today, for Earth Day. I wrote the beginning part of it, and I thought that we could write the rest of it together. So I'll play it how it goes, and then we can sing it together. And I want you to think about the ideas in the song and think about what else we could add to it. So it goes like this. Happy Earth Day, Earth. Oh, oh, happy Earth Day, Earth. You know it's spring, it's lovely, and it's time for rebirth. Oh, happy Earth Day, Earth. So let's try all that part all together. Ready? Happy Earth Day, Earth. Oh, oh, happy Earth Day, Earth. You know it's spring, it's lovely, and it's time for rebirth. Oh, happy Earth Day, Earth. We love all your trees and the birds and honeybees. We love to play in the sun and feel the cool breeze in the shade of the trees. So let's do that verse one more time. And then we'll sing the chorus again. And then we're going to think about adding to it. So we'll sing from We Love All Your Trees. Here we go. We love all your trees and the birds and honeybees. We love to play in the sun and feel the cool breeze in the shade of the trees. Now let's do the chorus. Happy Earth Day, Earth. Oh, oh, happy Earth Day, Earth. You know it's spring, it's lovely, and it's time for rebirth. Oh, happy Earth Day, Earth. So now we're going to think about what else we could add to this song. So I'm going to take your ideas, and we'll kind of write this together.
And Ms. Nelson's going to write them down, the idea.
Okay, so if you have an idea, let's start with what other ideas we should put into this song before we think of the specific words. Who has another idea that we should write about? So we already talked about how we like trees and we love the honeybees, and we talked about the sun and a little bit about those trees. What do you think? About the seasons changing. Good.
Stay in the houses in bad weather.
Okay, so weather and weather differences?
Yeah.
Okay.
Playing in the snow and sledding down hills.
Okay, and that sort of goes with their season idea, right? A lot of birds. Birds. So we could talk about birds and animals.
Oceans and rivers.
Oceans and rivers. And what about you?
Snow in the spring.
Snow and spring, and that kind of goes again with that seasons idea. That's great. So we have a lot of thinking about that. What's your idea?
We love
Polar bears. We love the polar bears. And how about you back there?
the nature.
Nature. And anything in particular about nature?
Flowers and plants.
Flowers and plants. Okay.
Going to the playground
Going to the playground.
or the park.
Enjoying outdoors. Okay. How about you back there?
Seeing the trees, seeing how like fall and pink colors and spring buds and then summer.
So maybe when we talk about the seasons, you want to talk about the colors of the leaves and the buds on the trees in the spring. Good. How about you back there?
Well, talking about how just the outdoors and have fun and just having fun playing and watching ball.
So also with outdoors, so that kind of goes with whoever said something about playgrounds and about just nature and being outside.
Plants.
How about you back there? Say it again.
Talking about
Oh, talking about Earth Day itself? Maybe we could, so you'd like to maybe mention the date of Earth Day in the song. That's a good idea.
Wait. In the one we get ice cream.
Okay, so that goes with enjoying being outdoors and things you can do. So maybe we can include that. How about you?
Solution for pollution.
Solution for pollution. So we could. So somebody mentioned like oceans and rivers, and maybe that goes with the pollution and sort of solutions for pollution. I think that works with that. How about you over here in the front? How about you? Oh, recycling. Yes. Recycling. That's a good topic to include. Maybe with the Earth Day, if we're mentioning Earth Day, we could mention recycling too. Let's see. I think I called on some of you. I did not call on you yet. How are you?
Reuse, reduce, recycle.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. So that goes with that too. Yes.
Jungles and mountains.
Jungles and mountains. Okay, so maybe when we mention, we can maybe mention something about the different features of the Earth. Yes.
Mud.
Mud. We could talk about mud too. Yes. About planting things. That. And eating lots of fruit. So that's good. I feel like we have a lot of ideas. Maybe I'll take 3 more and then we're going to move on to the next step. Yes.
Grass.
Grass. Okay.
I forgot.
Okay. Yes.
Like the trees were like the first. We always say like planting, like the first they plant and then they go up to.
So maybe something about like the growth cycle or something. And you back there, you had your hand very patiently raised. Ecosystem, that's a good word. Okay, so now we have a lot of ideas, and now we have to narrow it down a little bit. So if you still have ideas, maybe you can work those in as we do the next step. So let's look a little bit at the structure of the verse that we have here. So we're gonna copy this structure for our next verse, and let's notice the rhyme scheme. Do you guys know what rhyme scheme is? So rhyme scheme is the way of noticing what the rhyming words are, where the rhyming words are. And in this case, it's a pretty simple rhyme scheme. So we love all your trees. And then what rhymes with trees in the next line? Honey bees, right? And then there's a line where it's different. So in the next line is we love to play in the sun. So that would be a different sound. That's okay. And then the next line, and feel the cool breeze. Now breeze is spelled differently than bees and trees, but does it also rhyme? Yeah, it also rhymes. So it doesn't have to be the same spelling as long as the sounds are the same for a rhyme. And that's a little bit of a tricky rhyme, but it still works as a rhyme, right? And then the last line of it is in the shade of the trees. Now, another idea that we'll think about as we're thinking of what to say is I could have gone with just repeating "we love your trees," but I wanted to add another idea. So adding in that last line, in the shade of the trees, that gives us a little bit of detail and it gives us something else to think about, right? So when we're choosing words for a poem or a song, it's nice to choose words that have a lot of meaning. And so sometimes you think of the rhyme originally and it's a simple word, but then you might want to try to change it to add a little more depth to your song. So I feel like a word like shade of the trees, we get another idea in there. So it's a nice opportunity to introduce some other images and ideas. Do you have a question? Or are you just stretching?
Well, I was thinking since you were talking about the rhyming, I just thought of a word that could actually match most of those.
Okay, what's the word?
Like flowers can bloom
With ease. That is that's another rhyme. Now, what we might want to think about for the next verse is using a different rhyme. So we've already used trees, bees, breeze, and then we rhymed trees again. So for the next verse, let's see if we can come up with a different kind of rhyme. Does anybody have a starting line in mind for the next verse that uses one of these ideas or some of these ideas. Do you have an idea? Sees. So we could, do you guys want to try to write another verse with the same rhymes? We could keep going with the same rhymes. So you said with ease. What was your line again? Tell me the. They move as much as they please. This is good. Can we write these down? So,
which one?
So we'll just start to write these, and then we'll make it into a verse. So we have the flowers move with ease, and we had the what did you say again? They move as much as they please. And what was the other one that somebody over here had? What was yours? No, somebody who spoke. Say it again. Oh, seas. So we maybe could talk about something about the oceans, rivers, and seas. So let's see. How about, so that idea, the flowers move with ease. Are you thinking of them moving in the breeze with ease? Was that your thought there, my friend? I don't know your name, so. Were you kind of thinking about like flowers moving with ease in the breeze? So we could, I'm thinking, instead of the word move, we could add another idea in there. Grow. So we could, so when things are happening right in the world, the flowers grow with ease. I like that. The flowers grow with ease, and we have they grow as much as they please. We could use that same word there. So sometimes,
Flowers
grow with ease, but you know,
They move as much as
and they. You know, but actually, let's keep it there for a moment, because sometimes we do repeat a word in the song, and when we repeat, we want to think about why we're repeating. Sometimes we want to emphasize something. So repeating a word helps to strengthen an idea. Oh, you look like you have something really important to say. Tell me.
Like after ocean and seas, it can be all of those things very much please me, or all of those things please me.
They please. So if we say please me, then it doesn't rhyme. But we could think about changing that idea around so it ends with please. So think about how we can change the order of the words and the phrasing. And sometimes we have to. You have an idea also, yes.
For the last part, I think it should be sometimes flowers make me sneeze.
Oh, they make me sneeze. I like that. Sometimes they make me sneeze is another line. We'll just put it after, and we'll see where we add that. Now we did repeat that word. They grow with ease. They grow as much as they please. We could, instead of repeating that idea, we could change that and maybe add one of these other ideas. Change the word grow, and maybe use something else. So if you can think of it, do you have an idea?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe all the animals could go with all the places.
So maybe instead of talking about the flowers, we could talk about the animals there. The animals move as they please.
Yeah.
So that's sort of talking about the animals can sort of go wherever they want because they have a safe place to be.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Should we say animals move as they please? What do you have to say?
I was thinking after the sneeze, like sometimes they make us sneeze with the monkeys.
With the monkeys, that's another good rhyme. But so now if we look back at the verse, we have a space before oceans, rivers, and seas to add another idea that doesn't have to rhyme. So it just so for that line, it just has to have a meter that matches. So the meter means having the right number of syllables. So when we're singing a song, can we see? Are you able to see it? Oh, what the verse was. So in the first part it said, she wants to see the top line. I think we can. There we go. So let's think about that space in there. So far in our verse we have the flowers grow with ease, animals move as they please. Now, do we have too many syllables in there? Flowers move with ease, animals move as they please. It kind of works, but it's a lot of words squeezed in. We can think about that. Somebody may have a little way of tweaking that to make it a little better. And then How about we could talk about the creatures in the oceans, rivers, and seas, or maybe we could talk about keeping the waters clean or something. So who has an idea to fill in there, something new? And if you were thinking about something else, you can tell me what you were thinking about, and we'll get to that. Did you have something else you wanted to add? What do you think?
Dolphins, sharks, and orcas.
Dolphins, sharks, and orcas. Yes, and what? What should we say about them?
And they swim. They swim.
How about what if we say some of those creatures need clean oceans, rivers, and seas?
Yeah.
What about that? Because that kind of gets that idea of pollution, right? And sort of keeping things clean. And I feel like that fits with a few of the ideas that we have over there. So, so let's see. What should we say there? All the sea creatures need clean oceans, rivers, and seas. You like that? The sea creatures. That kind of gets all of the sea creatures in. All the sea creatures need clean oceans, rivers, and seas. And then we're going back to the idea of the flowers at the end of that verse. So I feel like we need to change those words a little bit to make that story come back together. We could still use that word because that's funny, right? It's a funny idea and it's nice to include a little joke in there. What's your thought there? We could talk about reeds. That's close. That's close.
Look at your ideas too. Maybe
Yeah.
there's one of your ideas that would.
Well, one thing that I'm thinking. Did anybody else want to say something first? Do you have before I offer the? Change. The flowers make me sneeze. Or so. Seasons change, but sometimes make me sneeze.
Colorful leaves.
Oh, colorful leaves. Colorful leaves sometimes make me sneeze. Do some of you have allergies to leaves? Say that. What? I think we're almost there. We have this verse almost done. This is pretty cool. Yes. That's one way we could do it. I like that idea. We could put that and then move the animals line to the end. I like that. That's a really nice, clean solution to that. So we could put those ideas in another verse, although I'm not sure. We might have to continue this assignment, and you guys could write additional verses and think about that, right? So maybe we'll, I like that. So if we have, and then just, yeah, write that. So now we have, flowers grow with ease. Sometimes they make me sneeze. All the sea creatures need clean oceans, rivers, and seas. Animals move as they please. Do we like that? Yes?
I was going to say, take care of our earth, please.
Take care of our earth, please. Oh, I feel like maybe we should write another verse. I don't know. All of these are really, really good ideas. Should we keep going with this and write another verse? Or we could.
All the creatures get clean oceans, rivers, and seas.
So animals move as they please.
So to get rid of sea.
Yeah. So should we do that where we can include all of the creatures, not just the sea creatures? What do you think?
Animals move as they please. So wait, I should say, so please take care of earth, please.
So for instead of about animals moving as they please, there we could save that for another verse. And so take care of our earth, please. I like that because that really gets the whole Earth Day idea at the end, and that's a big idea to put there at the end. I like that. So what we're going to do is save that animals move as they please for a future verse that you guys can finish, and instead we're gonna add that idea. So take care of our earth, please. Nice. I like that very much. So, and we'll say, so take care of our earth, please. You can just hold that for, in case somebody wants to remember that. I like this. Do you guys, how do you feel about this verse? I feel like this is a really good verse. So shall we try singing it all together? Yeah. Let's sing it. So I think I need to turn this so I can see at the same time. Or how about if I do this, and then I can see the chords. Sorry guys, that's okay. It's covered. We're good. So we have flowers grow with ease. Sometimes they make me sneeze. All the creatures need clean. Oceans, rivers, and seas. So take care of our earth, please. Let's do that again. You guys help me sing it. The flowers grow with ease. Sometimes they make me sneeze. All the creatures need clean. Oceans, rivers, and seas. So take care of our earth, please. Shall we do the whole song from the beginning all together? Let's do it. Remember Rita will help us to see all the words. Here we go. Happy Earth Day, Earth. Oh, oh, happy Earth Day, Earth. You know it's spring, it's lovely, and it's time for rebirth.